I think that we are in like that dial up era of AI. I remember when the internet first came out. I distinctively have a memory of sitting in a room with my cousin, like trying to figure out like what can we like go to the World Wide Web on. And I remember we went to like Kellogg's because like he had a cereal box right there, and we were like, let's look it up. It was just so random, but at the time, it was so mind blowing that we were able to do something like that. I remember distinctively printing out like directions and getting up with my friends in high school and like going places. I remember Blockbuster. I remember Blackberries. I remember GPSs when they first came out, and how at the time all of that was like mind blowing. Like, this is crazy. And it was partially attributed to the fact of it changed the way we did whatever that thing was that we were doing at the time. Now, I look back at that phase of our life and it's almost like, girl, like, but at the time, that was it. And I think that that phase right there is where we are with AI. Now, does that mean that the advancement of artificial intelligence is any less world breaking or record breaking? No, because it's amazing, and it's amazing to use as a tool. But also, I think that where we are now is its very early infancy stages. And I think that there are risks involved because you have multi-billion-dollar companies that are changing everything, like their entire workforce, the way that they approach things, everything dependent on something that is still in its very infant stages. Anyone that has been in technology or within the space of technology, we understand that things are released in iterations, that your initial product or project is not the final. Like, you're constantly improving, you're constantly making that better, and that is how you advance. However, when you have multi-billion-dollar industries that are investing literally everything into something that we are still essentially trying to get used to and still building out, it's a very, very, it's very risky. And I think that there needs to be conversations centered around the reality of where we are in the grand scheme of things regarding its development and how that is going to impact our entire lives. Now, those of us that are within the space, we have always used tools. We've always used tools. We're taught to research. We're taught to be critical thinkers. And I think that with the advancement of AI and someone who already has that very deep critical thinking mindset, it's essentially just an extension of how we have always used things. But I think that if you do not have that organic built in you to where you critically think, you research, you look up things, AI is not going to benefit you in a way that it possibly could. And what I mean by that is, with it being in this early stages of infancy, there still has to be baseline understanding of what is provided to you. You still have the responsibility to have an underlying foundational knowledge of whatever that concept is. You still have the ability to push back and question if what is being provided to you is accurate, if it's the best decision. You still have those responsibilities to navigate that space in that responsible manner. Why? Because we are still in our infancy stages of AI. It is not the end all be all. It is very much so still in its dial-up era, but you have multi-billion-dollar organizations treating it as if it's not. And then you have people that are treating it as if it's not. And what we are experiencing is the beginning of some long-term consequences from this stage, from people leveraging AI as if it's the end all be all, and we still are very much so in this building stage. So bye, y'all. Hope this helps.